Hello again. We have another episode of Atomic Ambition, the podcast. Now, today, we're going back in time a little bit. Many years ago, I was just looking at when this book was first published. Let me find it. The book was first published in 1989, so quite a long time back. Not quite as old. It's not quite as old as Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People and some of the other books. But this was first published in 1989. This is a 1991 reprint of the same book. Now, when I bought this book in 1991, 1992, not many people that I recall were talking about body language. That's what this book is all about. The Secret Language of Success by Dr. David Lewis. It's all about body language, understanding your body language and being able to interpret other people's body language. That's what this book is all about. Like I said, back in the early 90s, I don't think there were many people talking about body language and the importance of body language. I could be completely wrong, but apart from Dale Carnegie and a few other people, I don't think body language was a big thing in those days. Now everybody is talking about body language. I think every self-help, self-improvement book that you buy has an element of body language involved in it. Some books are just dedicated purely to body language. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I think this David Lewis. He was one of the earlier people to sort of start trying to bring this idea to the attention of the mainstream, which is me. I'm the mainstream. Yeah. At the time, for me, this was revolutionary. I had no idea about body language in those days, although perhaps we kind of have this innate understanding of body language cues, but it's an innate skill. Although we understand it, we don't really understand it until someone tells us. What does it mean when someone crosses their arms like this? What should we be reading when someone's standing there crossing their arms? In most cases, it's considered to be, someone closed to new ideas. But a lot of more modern self-help books will also say that you can't just automatically presume that I might have cold hands. If it's a cold day, I've got cold hands, and I'm thinking, do you know what? My underarms aren't nice and warm. Yeah? So even though my body language is saying negative things, I'm closed, you have to understand context where the body language is used. I'm not sure that is fully explained in this particular book, but in all more modern books, it's certainly explained. Okay, now, one of the things that is definitely in this book and in lots of other books, self-help, self-improvement books that talk about body language is eye contact. The importance of eye contact. Now, for me, in the world of Zoom, Teams, Google Meet meetings, this digital age, I think eye contact is even more important than ever. And the one thing that I say to everybody when it comes to eye contact, if you are in a Teams meeting, a Zoom meeting, whatever the technology that you're using, your camera is not here, your camera is here. And you have to make eye contact right the way up here. When you are greeting people, don't look at their face on your screen. Look at the camera. Yeah? We could all do with, in my view, a small amount of media training. Now, if you ever watch television, TV presenters, news presenters, they are all trained to look straight into the camera when they speak. And there might be multiple cameras within the TV studio, and they will seamlessly go from this camera to this camera, back to this camera, then to that camera over there. They know where the cameras are, they know what they're going to say, and they know to which camera they should be looking at when they're saying it. We could all do with a little bit of that training when it comes to online meetings. We need to learn to look at the camera. And again, especially when we're greeting people, you don't have to look at the camera all the time. But if you're greeting somebody, you say, "Hi, how are you?" Yeah, isn't it better to be looking at the camera and say hi, rather than perhaps looking at, especially like if you have two screens, looking at your email on that screen, "Hi, how are you?" Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. For me, if I'm in a meeting, and it happens to me quite regularly, the camera's there, but they move the picture of me to that screen, and they're looking at me on that screen. Well, I'm looking at them from a camera angle like this. And for me, there is no bond, there is no eye contact. And it feels awkward, it looks awkward, and I bet you guys are feeling awkward because I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to you over there. It looks awkward, it feels awkward, it is awkward. So eye contact, we know this in face-to-face meetings. We know eye contact is important. For me, it is ultra, uber important in online meetings. So don't forget. One of the secrets of the language of success is eye contact. Yeah. Next time you are in a Zoom meeting, Teams meeting, at some point, whenever you say hello or you want someone to listen to you, look at the camera. Direct into the camera. Say your piece direct into the camera. Don't look around the camera, look straight into the eye of your camera when you are delivering something really, really, really important. Yeah, and I bet you people will pay more attention to you when you're looking at the camera rather than looking just slightly below the camera at the screen. Yeah, that's my one tip about body language from the secret language of success. See you next week.